solid, well-trained, well-disciplined forces that meet, it's going to get ugly. General Greene, General Cornwallis had never lost a battle. But they were both good commanders, each in their own way. Okay, the British are moving around their flank. If you look to the left, you can see some red-coated troops moving down further on the left. They're trying to get around the flank of these guys in the center. And of course, the guys in the center are realizing that, and that's putting them in a bad position. And this is how the fighting went. It was a maneuver. Try to get an advantageous position. Try and do the most harm you can to the enemy, while the least is being done to yourself. The British are advancing now. You can see them coming in from left to right. And the second line is beginning to break apart. The men coming across in the center, the redcoats you see, would represent the 23rd Regiment and 33rd Regiment under Lieutenant Colonel Webster, who was commander of the 33rd. He was a brigadier at this point. You see some green-coated troops on their right, our right, their left. Those are infantry of the British Legion. And the troops in front of us are the 33rd Regiment and Royal Welch Fusiliers, the 23rd Regiment. That's Webster's brigade. The troops coming out on the field now are the remnants of the militias. The drum beating is prime and low. Many of these commands can be given by drum with no voice command at all. Now you can see that the British troops now are totally broken up. You see a small group to the center, you see a small group off to the left. They're disorganized, they're trying to reorganize. The courthouse, the cannons moving forward with them on New Garden Road. Now you need to use your imaginations a little bit. The men that are lining up next to the cannon on your left, on the far left of the field, have just been morphed from a bunch of ragamuffin militia into the 2nd Maryland Regiment. So imagine those fellows look like these guys. Because that's how we were laid out for the third line action at the Battle of Guilford Courthouse. You had the 1st Maryland on the right with some of Kirkwood's Delawares that had survived the whole fight during the day. You had these on the left protecting the left flank gun. So now we have mostly Marylanders in front of us, mostly Maryland regiments. So we're pretty mixed up. British are moving around trying to still get themselves organized. Now at this point in the actual battle, Lord Cornwallis had no idea where the 71st Highlanders, the 2nd Battalion Brigade of Guards of Von Bose's, he had no idea where those guys were. He was trying to find them in the woods and almost got himself captured. A sergeant from the Royal Welch Fusiliers named Roger Lamb jumped out from behind a tree and grabbed his horse and said, "General, you're about to ride into a bunch of the enemy. You need to come this way." One has to wonder what would have happened if Lord Cornwallis had been killed or captured here at Guilford Courthouse. It could have had a very different outcome to the whole war. Might have got the thing over with a little bit earlier. The British taking on targets of opportunity. You can see some of the British troops trying to get organized. Now at this point, we're at the north end of the battlefield. Webster's brigade's coming up. Webster's brigade, the 23rd Regiment, 33rd Regiment, with the 1st Battalion Brigade of Guards and their grenadiers in reserve. But by now they're all mixed up and intermingled. So you're going to see some of everything. Never did get organized enough to come on as a solid body. And this is what Greene wanted. He wanted them to come at him piecemeal. Now you can see him moving down the trail here, kind of on the right. Now General Greene has his best troops. His best troops are nice and fresh. They haven't been exposed to any fire yet. And he's going to a bunch of guys that have been on the road since about 3 o'clock in the morning. Now it's getting on towards about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, about now. And Cornwallis is coming at the best troops in the Colonial Army piecemeal. This is pretty much the way the battle flowed. You had some really sharp, heavy fighting in places, then it would be calm for a minute while one side or the other was trying to reorganize, trying to reorient, try to see where they needed to be. That's what the British are doing now. Cornwallis is trying to figure out where all of his troops are, because he's lost about half of them, doesn't even know where they've gotten to. He's reforming. And all the troops coming forward at this point are going to be representing Webster's brigade of the British Army, even though they're going to be in segments. I'll describe to you who's who.